this is wonderful. We get to do a family time at the same time we're training people. So it's all good.
Outstanding. Well, all right, so welcome to the District 6200 Training Assembly for the 2020-2021 Rotary year. I'm Larry Seymour, and I am your District 6200 Public Image Chair. This session is being recorded as well, so just a quick reminder, if you are not speaking or asking a question, please remember to mute yourselves to avoid I don't know, spilling food or something like that on the recording. I've done that far too many times, and so now I kind of auto mute because you just never know. But I'm excited. We've got a really good program today. If I can get my slides to advance. Yep. So an overview of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go through how public image can help your club. Okay. Public image plays a very large part in this year's Rotary Citation. And really it's because your club's growth and success can be helped so much by public image. Public image, getting the word out there of what your club does, is what can drive membership, is what can lead to successful projects, successful fundraisers. And so it can really be a bedrock of success in foundation, in service, and in membership. So we're going to go over the public image goals for the district. We're going to learn about telling your people of action story, which is really what public image is about. Telling your story of how you as a Rotarian are a person of action. Your club is people of action, getting out there and opening opportunities for the community and for the world. We're going to talk some about social media beyond Facebook, and then we're going to talk about Mask Up Rotary and how Rotary fits into mask mandates and stuff, especially given the governor's new mask mandate for Louisiana. Now, hi, this is me. I'm Larry Seymour. I'm the Assistant District Governor for Region 6 and our Public Image Chair. That's actually a picture of me on the left there with Governor Domingue, or Past District Governor Domingue, and a surprise visitor we had from the Rotary Club of Florence that happened to be visiting my club during our governor's visit last year in 2019. It was very, very special. We also have Chuck Barnett. I'm really honored to have Chuck presenting here. I met Chuck at the Zone Summit in Fort Wayne last year in October, and was really blown away by the presentation he gave on social media and learned a lot about public image from the track that he helped put together. He is a past district governor from District 6760, and he is the public image coordinator for Zone 30. So I'm very, very happy to have him here, and he's going to talk a lot about telling your story as people of action. Brian Kreisau will also be presenting. Brian is the Public Image Chair for the Rotary Club of Lafayette North, and he also serves on our Public Image Committee. Brian is also the owner of Media First Solutions, which is a media and publicity company for companies in South Louisiana. So very happy to have Brian here as well. Brian has extraordinary expertise in using social media to get the word out there and promote your initiatives. Real quickly, because I want to get to Chuck and to Brian quickly, but as a reminder, and we covered these at PETS, the first goal for the year is for every club to have a public image chair who gets some type of public image training. There are a whole host of possible training activities. The first list is the in-person public image training that can be offered. We're limited on that at least through the end of the calendar year. We don't know how far into 2021 it's going to end up going. But zone summits, zone leadership seminar series, initiatives like this one, many of which are being moved now to online, are all opportunities to get, quote, in-person / virtual public image training. Any member of the Public Image Committee, including myself or Brian, is also happy to attend one of your club meetings and do some direct public image training. But the goal is for as many clubs as possible, and we put 75%, but the clubs to receive some sort of public image training during the 2020 and 2021 Rotary year, especially the Public Image Chair. And again, it's emphasized in the Rotary Citation. Our second goal for the year is to increase club participation. We all do very, very good work out in our communities. We are all out there cleaning things up, bringing food to the homeless, cleaning up schools. We are all out there doing wonderful work in our communities. Our communities just don't know about it as much as they should. And if our communities all knew the work that Rotary does, people would be clamoring to join us. And so we need to be sure that we are getting our story out there, public awareness of what we are doing. So the goal is for each club in our district to submit at least one photo, video, or write-up from a club activity twice during the 2021 Rotary year. Okay, material can be published in the district newsletter, and we're working to see if we can turn that more into almost an RSS feed or blog that can be updated in real time with new articles throughout the month. We're trying to revive and really keep going and build on the work from last year's team of our district Facebook page and other district media that will be in development, like a YouTube page and things like that. And please be sure to like and follow the district Facebook page. These are some suggestions when you're putting photographs. Remember to tag members in Facebook photographs. What I mean by that is if you have a Facebook up, if you have a picture up on Facebook, okay, if you hover your cursor over the face of someone in the picture, the option comes up to type in that person's name. And if that person has a Facebook account, they will then be notified that they've been tagged in a photograph. It'll bring them to that photograph, give them the chance to share that photograph with their friends. And remember to use hashtags as well so that your photographs come up during searches. And remember to use the People of Action branding from Branson on Rotary.org, and Chuck will go over that in detail in his presentation. Lastly, we want to try to grow our online video presence. A lot of research indicates that videos get more clicks, more hits, more attention, et cetera, than simple photographs, and they can be very, very impactful. And we want to have clubs putting up, recorded videos from projects and things like that. We also want to see if we can get as many clubs as possible to put one real-time video from a project or other club event up into the district online media platform during the 2020-2021 Rotary year. We're going to be doing more training webinars and social media throughout the course of the Rotary year, and one of them will talk about how to create some videos and tips and pros and cons for making videos. But those are the goals to bring back to your clubs in terms of what we want to accomplish this year in social media and what it can do for your club. And with that, I want to turn it over now to Chuck Barnett. Chuck, I think you might be a co-host as well and may be able to just share your screen. I'm going to stop my share, and then we can turn it over to you at this point.
All right, leave me 1 second here and I will share my screen.
Great.
Let's see. Now, get back over here. Oh, you're sending the wrong one. Hold on.
There we go.
Let's see.
You're on, Chuck.
I see it. I'm trying to get the actual presentation up. All right. So, all right. How are y'all doing tonight? I am Chuck Barnett again from District 6760. I appreciate getting invited to present on People of Action and social media and public image. So we'll get right to it here. So we touched on it just a few minutes ago, but we want to make sure that we're doing great public image, because positive public image, we're going to have, it's going to lead to increased membership. Increased membership will bring us more donors. More donors will allow us to have greater projects, which will build our clubs. And again, we're going to promote them. It's a circle that feeds on itself. So we want to make sure that we're out there telling the world what we're doing, telling our communities right now, because right now we have the 3 strategic goals of Rotary: support and strengthen clubs, increase our humanitarian service, and increase public image and awareness. So if we increase our public awareness, it's going to pull people into us. They're going to want to be involved with us. We're not going to have those membership drives that we've heard of. People will want to be a part of us. So it all starts with a little branding. Who's all familiar with the logo here? So we want to quit using the older logo and let's use the new logo. And all that can be found at Rotary Brand Center. Everything that I'll show you tonight, I'm going to make sure Larry has a copy of so that he can email it or load it to your website. This here's just a quick identity sheet at a glance. Again, we can get it at Brand Center, but it tells you what typefaces to use, what the official colors are of Rotary, and just a real nice, simple sheet to use to go when you're trying to do some branding. Branding is a part of it, but again, the story is the bigger part of it. We want to make sure we're telling the story. But as we're doing it and creating these new pieces, it doesn't hurt to make sure that we're using correct branding. Here's a few examples of what not to do. You can, that first one on the top left, you want to make sure that you've got enough contrast. Second, picture here on the top line. Well, what's wrong with that one? You know, it's an all white, but that one, a full color logo would work well. The third one there, you know, it looks sort of right, but it's been a little creative license has been taken to it there, and it's got a white stroke around it, and the wheel's not exactly correct. The fourth one there, you can see that, hey, that really looks almost like the Rotary logo, but again, it's not the right typeface. Rotary. We want to make sure we're using the official ones from Brand Center. The last one on the top line, you know, you don't want to skew or flip or anything like that with the Rotary logo. We want to use it as it was created. Going to the bottom of the line now with the mark of excellence. A lot of people think that we can't use the wheel alone now, but you can use the wheel. But on the first one there, you don't want to crop it out. You don't want to have it out of the picture any. Second image, we want to make sure that we're using the correct colors. The third one there, well, you've got the real tiny mark of excellence up toward the top right, and in the bottom left, you have the Rotary Master Brand. But there is a correct proportion, size proportion in the guidelines that you want to make sure that you have that mark of excellence a certain size compared to the other. Again, on the fourth one there, it looks like they've copied it and pasted it over itself to give it a little depth. This doesn't work that way. And the last one on the bottom line is we want to make sure that we got the correct, you want to make sure that there's some distance between the master brand and the mark of excellence. Any questions on those? All right, we'll move on. So why do we need to tell our story? And again, if anybody wants to talk in while we're going over this, it helps to have two-way communication. But the People of Action Public Image Campaign, you know, it helps us tell that Rotary story, bring it to life, letting people know what we're doing. Not that we're 1.2 million members, but we're people of action. We're out there doing stuff in our community to make sure that, you know, they see that. Right now, our neighbors need to know that Rotary's still here and we're still doing great things. You know, Rotary opens opportunities for people to give back. So open the door and invite them in. Now we're going to start talking off with the Brand Center. Real simple to get to. You go to rotary.org, you log in, and if you're logged in, you can go to rotary.org/Brand Center. And Larry can help direct you there if you can't find it. But at Rotary Brand Center, we have all kinds of tools. I'm going to share just a few of them with you. And again, I will share these with Larry so that he can put them in an easier place for you to download. But there's a quick start to social media. It's real simple. You know, it's a small booklet that just gives you some ideas on what to do, when to post, some things like that. Real simple. We're not going to go into it in depth because we don't have a lot of time, but I just want to make sure that you know where it's at. We have a People of Action style guide. What that is, it basically walks you through the People of Action, talks to you about how to get that good photograph. You know, when we're talking about photographs, we don't want that picture of everybody up on the wall holding the check. We want to make sure that we get the good picture of what that check did. So that's something for us to think about. Another thing is just a general overview of the campaign. You can download these, go over it. It gives you a list of other resources that are available on Brand Center. So Public Relations Guide. Here you can find tips and templates, best practices for developing a plan. You always want to have a plan, especially club leaders. Think about what you're going to be doing over the year and try to, you know, build that plan. You know, how often you want to post something. Make sure that, you know, whatever project you do, we're doing these 5 things with it. We're going to have somebody talk to the local radio station. We're going to have someone write the press release to get to the paper. Just those kind of things. It'll help you build that. All right, so now that we know where to get some of these tools and other things, we want to talk about developing the story. Now, this is something y'all may say down in Louisiana, it's like IE, but it's the 3AIEE method. So the first A is accomplishment. What were you or your club trying to accomplish? So we're trying to tell the story now. So what was the problem or challenge in your community that your club wanted to solve? You know, were you trying to make sure kids were fed on the weekends with a backpack program? Were you building a home for Habitat for Humanity? So some of that. Describe how your members identified the problem. How did they know that there was a problem? And, you know, who did you talk with? Who came to you to present? Say, you know, hey, Big Rich, we've got a problem here. Can you help us? You know, build your story around that. People like to have those details. And did you have any statistics to back that up, saying, you know, in Lafayette, there were 25% of the children went home with no food for the weekend, so we built this backpack program to make sure they were fed. All right, that was the first one. Now the second A is Hoosier Stories audience. Now, Rotarians, we all know the great things that we do and who we are and what we're trying to do, but beyond Rotary members, who are we trying to reach? Generally, it's going to be, you know, the general population of the community. What did they know about Rotary? Think about how many times say, well, what's Rotary? Oh, you know, a lot of people think we're a bunch of old white people that get together and have lunch, some kind of secret society, but let them know through your story who we are. You know, make sure we're showing the diversity of our clubs, make sure that people feel welcome to join us. You know, that gets into the whole thing about how do they feel about us? What do we want them to think and feel about us? Any questions? Feel free to chime in.
I'll give you that secret handshake when I see you there, Chucky.
All right. All right, the third A was action. Again, when we're building this story, how did your club take action? Describe how you gathered the resources and used the expertise of our Rotarians or other community members. You want to tell what obstacles you may have faced. You know, again, we're building a story, make it where, you know, people want to read it and say, you know, if so we were trying to get the backpacks, but our one supplier, they filled out, but this other supplier over here, they came through and helped us. And again, I'm just using the backpack program because it's on my mind right now. Thinking about these kids that may not be getting any food with school not happening. And then, so we've got our story there. Now let's think back to our People of Action campaign with our photographs and our templates. So which action phrase works? Together we empower, together we learn, together we mentor, fight hunger. That would be a great one for the particular one that we're working on. Again, now if we were using this, we wouldn't want to put a picture of children or anything like that. But say if you're doing that backpack story, you could have a video even of people putting backpack or items in the backpacks. Get those pictures of people stuffing the backpacks. Those tell a story. So that would be the one that we would use with a particular example. But through all of these different themes and verbs, you can find something to work with your story. Any questions over that? All right. Well, I'm going to give you a simple place to go and get these photographs or the overlays.
I do have one question. Is there some kind of prohibition about taking pictures of children if you're doing like we do a kids in the park where we have special needs children engaged in fun activities and lunch and so on?
We always want to have permission to use children's photos. It's one of them that you don't want to just do it and then hope that it's okay. But yeah, get a written permission if possible. Say we want to use your child's photograph in some of our promotions. Now, you know, like in the case of like a needy children, that kind of thing, I don't know if I would ever use a kid's photo. My club, we do a Christmas for Kids program, but the photographs we use there are all of the adults doing the shopping. So we tell the story about what's happening. So, all right, what you see on your screen now is a website to where you can go to and upload a photograph that you take and use the People of Action overlays on it. This is so much easier than using the brand center. It's at one time it wasn't really officially recognized by Rotary, but I think they've been working with them a little bit. A Rotarian developed this program, but go to it. It's very easy to use. Go ahead and write that down so you'll know what it is. It's www.poaphotos.com, and you just put that in your web browser on your phone or tablet. Have any of you used that before? Yeah, Big Rich. Okay. All right, it's real simple. So it's a lot easier than using the one at Brand Center. If you have any questions, get with me, email me, but it's very intuitive. All right, so now we're at the I before the first E. Impact and evidence. Again, we're talking about the story. We're building the story for the backpack program here as an example. What did we do? What were the outcomes of our project? We were able to send food home for 230 children for the weekend. You know, statistics saying that, well, we know that, you know, 20% of children in our community go hungry on the weekend. 50% of them are on free and reduced lunch. So by using our project, we're able to make sure that they're having some food for the weekend. Again, we're telling the story, making sure that people want to read it. Tug on the heartstrings. Tugging on those heartstrings are going to get those people saying, well, look what that Rotary Club's doing. I want to be a part of that. So that's what we're doing here. All right, the second E is we've told the story. We've got the person, they're wanting to do something with our club now. Excuse me. So how do we want them to engage? The key to any good story or ad, we have to have a call to action. So do we want our audience member to learn more, support our cause, or join us at a meeting? So when you write that story or create that post, make sure you put on there, visit us at www.whateverrotary.org or see our Facebook page. Make sure you have links, excuse me, put phone numbers or anything else, just so they know how to get in touch with you. So what next? You've built the story, you've created it, you've got your graphics. What do we want to do with it? We want to share it. Then we want to make sure that our members are sharing it. Get out there to our local papers. Get out to your newspaper, your radio station. Just make sure that we are putting it out there. Share it with us at the district and zone, at the zone level, because we like to share stuff on our zone Facebook pages and other media. So here it is in a quick rundown. We have our accomplishment, audience, our action, impact and evidence, and engage. So on the right-hand side here, it's a real simple worksheet on how to do it. Larry, I'll provide this to you so you can share that with everybody as well. Do we have any questions over what we've talked about here so far?
I do.
Yes.
Hi, Chuck. Nice to meet you. Quick question. I think videos are highly effective. So a lot of what we have here are just stilled images. So are you guys going to start working on, is there a progressive movement to create easy plug and play video with epic heartfelt music that we can put a swing with a child, you know, an image that it needs a child in it or something like that? Are we just going to stay with this static photo?
Well, you know, what's better than a static photo is video by all means. I'm an internet marketer. I do a lot of video. The video is a little bit more complicated for most people, but what works at a lot of our projects is doing that Facebook Live while we're there. That's one way that you can get the word out, and it notifies everybody that you are live at that point. So doing Facebook Live is a really good thing. But videos, yes, I would work on doing videos like I talked about earlier. Take the video of the people putting the food in the backpacks, for example. Putting a little video together around that with the call to action at the end. You can still tell that story. But Rotary does not have any kind of tools really built for that. Now, there are some videos. What's that?
Slideshows? An ability to create a slideshow from your guys' website?
Oh, slideshow, yes. Build a slideshow and if you want to put some music behind it, that would be great too. A lot of the videos I do in my work life are a bunch of still photographs with words and just it's more of a PowerPoint that's been created to a video. So yeah, great point though. Video by far is a better engagement than a still photograph.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on. So here are 10 social media tips, and you may have seen some of these on Facebook, but we'll share them. So 1, tell a story, caption your photographs. We want to make sure that people know, who's in the photo, what's happening in the photo. Again, we're telling a story instead of just posting the picture by itself. Don't overload our social media. Post little, but post often. We want the too long, didn't read. Don't get too much of that in your post, but make sure that you tell enough in a snippet, but you don't want a whole dissertation about it. But if you are going to do that, link it to something else. Encourage your members to share. Whatever we post, we tweet, whatever our event is that we create, we've got to get our members sharing it, because the more of our members sharing it, the more the community will see it. Increase the visibility. We talked about earlier about tagging friends, tag the venue, tag the event in your post. Increase our reach. We want to reach out past Facebook. We want to look at LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. I'm waiting to see my first Rotary TikTok. You want to send a Rotary TikTok yet? All right, number 6, blog. If you have a website and you're writing stories on your website in a blog form, make sure you're sharing those on your Facebook and other social media. All right, timing. Let's make sure that we're posting when people are reading a lot. Breakfast, lunch, and supper. So it's a good time to post because people are have a little free time. They'll pull their phone out at those times and look stuff up. And when we're talking about doing this, you can download a program to schedule your posts so you don't have to manually do it. There are a bunch of different ones out there, but just Google social media manager and you can find several. All right, overzealous tagging. Well, we've all been tagged in some spam out there in the past that I didn't have anything to do with that particular post. So make sure you're only tagging people that are actually have something to do with the post. Stay safe. Now, in today's times, you have a lot of people that get very fired up over different things online. So let's not have any flame wars. Take it offline. If you don't like what someone's doing, on the Rotary, let's not involve Rotary or Rotary Facebook pages in it. Someone's doing it offline, and that takes us to number 10. Does your post pass the Rotary 4-way test? Be mindful of what we post. Let's not try to cause division and other things like that. Let's try to make sure everybody is, is it fair to all concerned with whatever we post here in our Rotary. So those are my quick social media 10 tips. And there's my email address, phone number. Take it down, call me. I'm always glad to help. I'm just part of the team here with several Rotary Public Image coordinators in zones 30 and 31. But I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have or any thoughts on this.
Hey, Chuck. Yes. Every once in a while, I'll tag people who I want them to see what we have done. Once or twice, yeah. I've gotten a reply back privately. I had nothing to do with this. And I go back and I tell them, hey, I just wanted you to see what our club was up to, And, yeah, you're right. Don't be overzealous and tag too many people. Because sometimes I'm a group of 100 people that are tagged on something that happened in India,
Exactly.
And Rich, you made a good point in that I was sort of distinguishing earlier between tagging the people that are actually in a picture as opposed to tagging people in the comment section that you want to see what happened. That's a very important distinction. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, the tagging in the comments is when you at and then someone's name, and then it'll pop up on their news feed, or they'll get a notification that you tagged them with something.
So Larry, what I'll do when we're done tonight or in the morning, I will come up with some PDFs of the things that I talked about, and you can email them out or have them in an easy place for people to get to.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Chuck?
We got a great opportunity to tag some pictures for that book giveaway that we're having this next weekend.
Yes. Now that's going to be very important, and we're going to have some information about that on the Facebook page very soon as well. Martha sent some good pictures also. Well, Brian, I think you are also a host as well, and should be able to share your screen for your slides. And this is Brian Kreisau, who is the Public Image Chair for Rotary Club of Lafayette North and a member of the District Public Image Committee. Brian, are you on? I saw you earlier.
He's muted, but he's there.
Bingo. There you go.
All right, just need 1 second to pull this up.
Perfect.
Everyone can see okay? All right, so quick background about myself. I've owned my company, Media First Solutions, now for a little over 4 years, based here in Lafayette. It's strictly digital marketing, and I've been in advertising for over 15 years. Actually, I started in the newspaper business and ad sales, and of course, a lot has changed over the years. So this is one of the reasons why I was really excited and honored to be able to become part of this district committee for Rotary, because we have a great opportunity moving ahead. And obviously, digital is going to be an essential piece in what we do moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up more. And I'm just going to go over a few platforms. Chuck touched upon it a few minutes ago, but I'm going to dive just a little bit deeper. And I'm going to get into a little bit about these audiences and why it's so important that we do diversify our social media platforms that we're using. I hear a lot in Rotary about how we need to get younger people. I think that's all an objective probably for every single chapter in this district and probably across the country. And so you have to think about your audience. And these are the statistics that I pulled up just the other day in regards to Instagram. And you can see here that 30% of them are in between the ages of 18 and 24, and 35% between 25 and 34. So in a nutshell, over half of all the Instagram users are under 35. So not to get into a whole lot of strategy here, but it does fall back on what Chuck was talking about, and the fact that if you can, say, have a photo from an event and you put it on Facebook, it's very easy to transcend that over to Instagram. Also, short videos is acceptable on Instagram as well. You just have to keep it at or below 15 seconds. But this is an easy complement to Facebook, and a lot of times it's just simply going into your settings for your Facebook account and allowing Instagram to post from the Facebook page. So definitely, if you do not have one for your chapter, I highly recommend that you do get an Instagram account set up. So this is actually from West Lafayette, Indiana. And this is just an example of what they have been doing up there. And you can see some of the content that's being used. The one here in the left-hand corner was actually the most recent one when I had taken this snapshot that they used from the Rotary.org website. But you can see how they have a variety here of types of content. And it's all about just capturing that image, telling that quick story. But you can see that they have a pretty healthy following. Now, of course, you know, obviously we'd love to ideally all by each chapter get into the thousands of followers, and that'll come in time with consistency and frequency. But the other key too is the following. You can see they have more followers, less followers, but more following. And really, you have to use your best discretion, but you want to be proactive and be able to reach out to others in your community that are going to be relevant. And if obviously, one way would be to reach out to other Rotary chapters in your district and get them to follow your page, but also be on the lookout for other types of businesses, and obviously also too, when it comes to public image, other media sources that you'd like to be able to have them follow you on your page. So generally on average, from what I've seen, for every 10 accounts that you follow, generally on average, I'll see at least 30% of them at least reciprocate that and follow you back as well. So you definitely want to be proactive with that along with producing the content. Now, LinkedIn is definitely an important audience as well, as Chuck mentioned a little while ago. And you can see that 37% of the audience with LinkedIn is in between 30 and 49. So now we're going a step up in terms of age range. And so this is why it's so important to have a diversification in your social media platforms that you're using, because we all know that Facebook is by far the most popular. But Facebook has plateaued somewhat over the last couple of years, and you're starting to see some of these other platforms gain a little bit of traction and increase their audience. And it's not just in this case for LinkedIn in regards to that age range. We're obviously always looking to find good talent to join our Rotary chapters and be able to reach out to leaders in our community. And that particular platform is perfect when you're trying to promote an event per se. You have something coming up and you're looking to get participation and cooperation. It's always great to be able to utilize that, because the people that generally are on LinkedIn are generally the ones that are decision makers in companies. You'll find that it's a lot of people that make $75,000 and up that are generally owners, general managers, etc. So again, it goes back to what I was talking about with adding LinkedIn, adding not only LinkedIn, but also Instagram. But that's an easy transition as well. And I'll get to that in a second in terms of, like Chuck mentioned, about using a third-party platform to schedule all this stuff. So I took a picture of the Rotary Club out of Portland, and you can see an example of what they had done. And you can see that it was from an event that they were participating in. And this was several months back, but there are several Rotary clubs, just to give you this example, that are already active in LinkedIn as well as Facebook. Now, another one's YouTube. And this goes back to when we were talking a little while ago about videos. And a lot of people think about YouTube as simply watching YouTube for entertainment. But there's a lot of other reasons why people use YouTube. And it's actually the second largest search engine, second only to Google. A lot of people are trying to get information. They're doing a lot of research. So a great example of how you can use YouTube is right now, especially with all of our virtual meetings. We've been doing this now for several months with our North Lafayette chapter. We record our meetings, we get them downloaded, we'll go back and do a little bit of editing, add the Rotary logo, and take out a few things that aren't really necessary just to condense the time frame, and we upload it in YouTube, and we put our description in as to what the video entailed. Well, over time, what the goal is that organically, when people are going to look for different activities they may want to get involved in per se, or maybe looking for an organization they'd like to become a part of, by having these different types of keyword searches or research that's being conducted, it's just going to elevate your chances in your market, in your community, to have an opportunity to get a video related to your actual channel or page to appear organically. And so you can see that obviously the younger they are, the more they watch video. But even when you go all the way to 75+ years old, over half of that age group is going on YouTube to watch videos. So this is entirely across the board in regards to the usage. And this is just a still photo of this, but this is an example of the Rotary Club of Las Vegas. And they published this about a year ago, and it was featuring Louis Anderson. And this one was about 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long. Obviously, you know, with your meetings, that will probably be at least 30 minutes. But going back to what Chuck was talking about as well a little while ago, it doesn't always have to be an actual video that you're recording. It could simply be a slideshow video that's real easy to produce. And as a member of this district committee, I'd be more than happy, willing, and able to talk to any of you and how to find some efficient ways to be able to produce that content. And last but definitely not least, obviously you're probably thinking, okay, well, if we're going to add all these social media platforms, You know, how much time is this going to require? And like Chuck said, there's several out there. These are two that I recommend. I use this for my company. Social media third-party platforms are all over the place, but I find that if you're trying to keep your costs down to basically zero, you can go and invest in a Hootsuite account for $0. You can add up to 3 different social media platforms for no charge. Obviously, if you go beyond 3, there'll be a cost. Another one that I like is Buffer. And with Buffer, it's only $15 a month, and you can schedule up to 8 different types of platforms. And again, I'll be more than happy to do an online training with any of you to show you how to utilize, whether it be these 2 platforms or anything else. But it's very easy because you can have the same piece of content to schedule on more than 1 platform at the same time. And of course, you can schedule them in advance as well. So that concludes my portion. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. Do any of you have any questions for me at this time?
Any questions for Brian?
Okay. Thank you.
So everyone's a public image expert, huh?
Or we're overwhelmed, one of the two.
I remember the first time I saw a presentation on this stuff, I left with my head hurting of, oh my God. Coming back to my blank screen now. I guess everyone can see. All right. So I want to thank both Chuck and Brian for sharing their expertise on this. I think they've covered a lot of material in a brief period of time, and each of the things that they talked about in terms of using Hootsuite, making videos, things like that, are things that we want to do more tailored and individual webinars focusing on. And these are also things that we can set up individual training sessions for your club and your public image chairs if you'd like to. So the last thing that the Public Image Committee is focusing on in the coming year is the hashtag, or the sort of the promotion, Mask Up Rotary. And I've been talking about this with Governor Normand even before John Bell Edwards, our governor, put out the mask mandate. And it comes from a combination both of just the information that I get as a physician, as well as just common sense, the 4-way test, and setting a good example. But in compliance with the state law, as well as to exemplify the 4-way test and our commitment to the health of our communities, we're asking for Rotarians in District 6200 this year for things that you're going to want to publish on district media. Please remember that in the photographs for club activities and social projects, service projects and socials, that you especially observe the social distancing and remain at least 6 feet apart as much as possible. Now and both of these things may change as public health guidelines change, as state regulations change. But right now, these are the recommendations from the CDC, as well as the instructions from our governor. But it's important to maintain social distancing. It's important that people see us maintaining social distancing in the media posts that we make and in the example that we set. It's also important to wear face masks as much as possible to show our commitment to this very basic initiative. And as you see a picture of me with the Mask Up Rotary logo and my Rotary People of Action face mask on. And face masks can come off, for example, whenever you're eating, or if it's the speaker who's in the club talking about that. But it's important that people see us setting this example. And I wrote a piece in the newsletter on masks and the 4-way test. And just when you think about sort of goodwill, better friendships, what's most fair for the community, it's important that people see us observing these precautions of social distancing and masks for the health of the community. And again, the primary example we're thinking about, like indoor service projects, I think is the biggest thing when I think about it from a medical standpoint, that people see us wearing our masks on. Our indoor service projects and our indoor club meetings. And obviously you're not going to have a mask on whenever you're eating, and obviously the speaker probably won't have a mask on. But it's important that people see us observing these precautions and setting a good example. And when you do have pictures of Rotarians with masks on, and the Rotary Club of Abbeville just had a great picture that they posted and that we shared in our social media platforms for the district, with everyone being inducted with masks on. We used the hashtag Mask Up Rotary. And also, if you're interested in one of these wonderful Rotary People of Action face masks that you see your public image chair wearing, you can purchase them from Russell Hampton. Now, it's interesting, they have bulk order discounts. And so the masks just on a single one offer $10 each, but the more masks you buy, the cheaper that they get. And so what I'm seeing a lot of clubs around the district doing, including my own, are buying them in bulk to save on shipping, and you get the discount, and then club members can then buy them. And these can be worn doing service projects. These can be worn during club meetings. And it's a great way to promote Rotary and to show our commitment to public health and the health of our communities, and how important it is to get our economies fired back up. Because that's where membership's going to come from. That's where donations are going to come from. And it's how we set a good example, and it's how we open opportunities for everyone to get healthy. So to summarize it, and I wanted to leave some time at the end for questions, and if no one has questions, then we can just sort of share stories and chat, enjoy some fellowship. But I hope that you've gained an appreciation for how important public image can be to spurring growth of your club, to getting the word out there of what we do, and promoting the projects and how much we help our communities. I'm blown away by what the clubs in my region did to help Lafayette and help Acadiana through the pandemic. And just what we all do, it's amazing. We're cleaning up cemeteries. We are bringing food to healthcare workers. We are cleaning up schools. We are getting school supplies for students. We're getting computers for students. We're tutoring students. We're mentoring people through Rotaract clubs and Interact clubs. We're sending scholars all over the world to learn about the environment and learn. I mean, these are our future leaders. These are the people who are going to lead us to a better tomorrow. And Rotary is we're the ones producing them. And getting that word out there can be inspirational to the entire planet and grow the membership and grow Rotary. So please look at pursuing some public image training for your club. Remember to tell your story. And I love, Chuck, as a Cajun, being able to do a good aye. I love that. So that was fun. Remember to tag and use hashtags. Think beyond Facebook. Please have each of your clubs post at least twice throughout the year. Like and follow our district Facebook page. That's how you can get things up there. And remember to mask up Rotary. And that's what I've got. Thank you all very, very much for tuning in this evening. And if you have any questions at all, either Brian or myself or Chuck can try to answer them. And there is my email address in case anyone needs to reach me. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Super job. Awesome. Awesome. Want to thank Chuck, and also want to thank our other distinguished guest, Mr. I'm trying to remember how you say your name.
Brian.
Brian, but your last name, how you say your last name, Brian?
Everyone knows it's pronounced Kreisau.
Okay, Kreisau.
It's
Okay.
almost like the car, but just not quite.
Okay. Well, listen, thank y'all to have the professionalism that both of you bring to our district is superb. And what a better way to be able to handle this, but actually see you in a Zoom and get the slides right there, where we can also, because this is being recorded, be able to reference it back in the future. Whereas if we were in person, after y'all would disappear in front of us, that would be it. We would have to try and remember, but this way we can actually go back to the recordings. I thank y'all so much, and I hope everyone takes this into account and goes back to your club goals that you put in Rotary Central, and you might bump it up and pop it up a little bit higher, those numbers, because now you have a better understanding how you can impact Rotary for our district and our world, and how you can open more opportunities for people to learn about what our district has to offer through your clubs and your personal identity of Rotary. This is I see you, the public image chairpersons, helping people to not only know what Rotary is, but when they see these Rotarians out in public, it's sort of like wearing a big old badge, Rotary. And it's not on a mask, but it's the mantra of the way you present yourself. Thank y'all so much. And Brian and Chuck, I can't wait to see y'all in the future, man. Y'all are gonna be the superheroes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much. Any other questions before we call it a night? All right.
Thank you, Larry, for helping put this together.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you to our Rotary trainer for the district, Mike Hayes, and a special thank you for Frank Bradshaw getting us the publicity out there from Larry Seymour. Larry, awesome job. You know how to put things together and do that public image. And to all of you, look forward to seeing the public image throughout our district, especially in those newsletters. We need your information. God bless y'all.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.